Morales. They might just call me childish if I got to catch them all or volunteer to take the challenge. I got the plug in the orders. I got the connect account mechanic and get me the sort of joy I get from noise, action, BB, B8, action, so James brick and mortar. I got the plug in the orders. I got the connect account mechanic and get me the sort of joy I get from noise, action, gang, bang, 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 action figures. Welcome to the Terror Drone. I used to call Castle Grace go home.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Toys, Noise, and Action Figures. I'm your host, Red Shenny. I'm doing the setup a little bit different today because I'm going to be working on the desktop here. What I'm actually doing today is I'm bringing to you the update, the announcement from Haslab about the upcoming Unicron, which I've documented and talked about previously in past videos. But we got the third update. This is the third update that they've done on the Unicron. The last update, we actually got a chance to see some of the updates on the sculpting and the process of them actually getting ready to send it off, getting the different plastics tested, and we even got a chance to see the box that we're going to be getting, the actual boxes that's going to be getting sent to us on the last update, on update number 2. So update number 3 had a lot more in store for us today. Very exciting. Again, we got a chance to see the box that's going to be getting shipped to us in early 21, about 5 months from now. And we also got a chance to see on this update just the way it's going to be packaged. So it's very exciting. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to jump right into it. Let me minimize my screen a little bit so we can see things a little bit better. Forgive me if this is a little spotty. This is the first time I'm actually doing anything like this. So here we are right here. Haslab War for Cybertron Unicron, product update number 3. And they start off by just if some of you guys haven't seen this yet, I got this email update from Haslab earlier this afternoon. It was maybe about 11 o'clock I saw the email actually come through for me. So if you haven't got a chance to check it out yet, just head over to HasbroPulse.com. They've got the update right here. Transformers fans, we're excited to bring you an exclusive behind-the-scenes look at packaging and instructions development for Unicron. Let's first take a look at the unboxing video, this is really cool, by the way. I actually just want to say this real quick. I think that it's really cool that they included an unboxing video that's giving us a preview of how we're going to have to unbox this bad boy. So it's pretty cool. It's kind of unprecedented as far as I'm concerned. I've never seen where you got a chance to see the company before the product is actually shipped, showing you exactly how it's going to be packaged and everything. So take a look at the unboxing video starring our very own package engineer, who is going to walk us through the ins and outs of ensuring the villainous planet is safely delivered to your home. And then our lead engineer will take us through some of the questions you and the fans have been asking about the development of the mighty bringer of chaos. So right now I'm going to get right into this video so you guys can check it out.
Hey guys, what's going on? My name is AJ Pieko Brown. I'm the packaging engineer on Transformers. And today we're going to talk about how you're going to receive your Unicron. And let me tell you, this box is big. Now let's open this bad boy up. The first thing you're going to see when you open up the Unicron box is going to be the stand for the product. So move that off to the side. Next, you're going to get this awesome instruction booklet that the instructions team worked really hard on. Cardboard out of the way, and you'll see Unicron's planet packed out in poly bags to make sure that it gets super safe. After that, hold on tight because there's a really big piece of foam in here you need to get out. As we move this big block of foam, you're going to see the planet here for the first time. Inside these foam cubbies, you're going to also find all of your accessory parts that you need in order to build Unicron, as well as the stand for his planet. So now that we have Unicron out of the box, let's open up all these poly bags and see what it looks like. All right, now that we have Unicron out of the box, let's bring in Lindsay, our engineer, to talk to you guys more about the product.
Hi everybody, I'm Lindsay. Here we have our Engineering Pilot 2. This sample has the deco on it and a lot of improved function from our last sample. It's looking a lot better, but we still do have some improvements to make. As you can see, the yellows aren't quite matching yet, and yellow is actually one of the most difficult colors to match, as we know from our many years making Bumblebee. But you can see here, painted yellow is a little different than molded PVC, which is a little different than molded PA. So this is typical for this stage, and we'll work to improve it in the next sample. But now we're actually going to go to the fan forms, and I'm going to answer some of your questions. All right, so we actually had some questions about the head in particular. So the faceplate actually comes off here. And you have these really cool eyes that look left and right. And then his chin also comes off to swap out with the alternate chin here. And he also has an alternate faceplate that you can stick right over that's battle worn. All right, just some more details too. I can show you the back here. This is the little toggle switch back and forth. And then the actual faceplates themselves are molded in clear. I know that was a question we had on the forum as well. And his jaw actually has some articulation here, so his teeth move. All right, we also had some questions about this stand. So it is made out of ABS, and we added some ribs here to make sure it was strong enough to hold your figure in both modes. And it actually is really easy to assemble as well.
All right, well, thank you guys for joining us for update number 3 and going through this unboxing video. Thank you for sending all your questions. I hope we answered some of them. Anything else you guys want to talk about, please let us know for update number 4, and we'll be sure to try to answer what we can.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Oh man! So how exciting is that? I actually have to say I'm going to go back down the page a little bit so we can take a look at some other things. But I really wanted to stress. I know that I've seen some reviews up, and I've seen people get their hands on the third-party offering, the Unicron, the not Unicron, or whatever. I was convinced prior to this, from when I backed this Haslab project, that there's nothing like the real deal. I'm not a big fan of third-party. I'm definitely not a fan of KOs, because I get where the third-party offerings can fill a void for some collectors. But my OCD is, I mean, I have OCD like severely, like, so I can't do knockoffs or bootlegs or unofficial kind of things. It just kind of bothers me, and the continuity of the collection thing for me, it's a big deal. But I was convinced anyway that the official Haslab release was the one to go with. I get that there were arguments about the price point and whatnot, and how long you had to wait for it and everything like that. Or people were concerned about the scale, which I thought that was kind of ridiculous, because you're not going to get an in-scale Unicron ever. It's not possible. But after watching this video today, and this isn't even the official, this is not the one we're getting, but I'm even more convinced now that the official release is the one to go with, just because of all the extras that you're getting with it. Let's take a look at a couple things real quick. Real quick on the box. On the actual box itself, let's see if we can find some pictures on here. Okay, so the box itself, you can see that right there. I love the, don't get me wrong, I like the box design. I like the image on it. But because they're calling it a War for Cybertron Unicron, it leaves a little bit to, if I had to nitpick about something, it leaves a little bit to be desired. As you can see, what they've been doing with War for Cybertron. By the way, these are some of the most epic box art designs that I've seen from the Transformers brand. I'm always going to be, my heart is always going to be with G1 and the 1980s releases, but I mean, the box art on these has really been, it rivals the box art that we used to get with Masters of the Universe. I mean, the box art designs are epic, and Transformers has not been a slouch when it comes to box art. So, I mean, so they're calling this Unicron War for Cybertron Unicron, which we know is really, it's just part of the line. War for Cybertron really is, just harkens back to G1. So we might, I mean, your figures for War for Cybertron could double as updates for your G1 figures anyway. But my concern about the Unicron box is it's a Unicron that is in the War for Cybertron line. So I was hoping they would keep the packaging aesthetic uniform with what they're offering, what I was just showing you just now. Because this is the crown jewel of the entire Transformer brand. So if you just even look at it as being part of the War for Cybertron trilogy, it is the crown jewel of that collection. So I was hoping that I was really anticipating the box art. The poster that they gave out at 2019, the Comic-Con last year. The poster that they were giving out and the display design that the Unicron was in its display with, I thought the box art was going to look like that. So I was really anticipating that. Don't get me wrong, I like the box art, but compared to the rest of the War for Cybertron line, it just seems like it leaves a lot to be desired. Let me go back up to the instructional booklet. I know a lot of the fans are really anticipating that because you're hearing that it's going to be like almost an hour to transform. So that's going to be pretty exciting. I'm not even sure how I'm going to do the review when it comes, when that Unicron arrives, when I do my unboxing and my review. And it's supposed to be around January. They're anticipating January. So hopefully, fingers crossed, everything goes according to plan, and I'll have it by the time my birthday gets here. So that's going to be one of the greatest birthday presents I've ever gotten for myself. And Anyway, but instructions, development process. The instructions for Unicron are unlike anything we have ever seen here at Hasbro. We had to call in the experts to tackle this project. We're going to hear from Mark, a senior graphic designer, to get a closer look at the instructions process, how Unicron is different, and how he has had to adapt while working from home. And a big shout out to the designers and the entire staff at Hasbro. I had actually, I have a pretty good friendship with John Warden over there, and I want to congratulate him on he's moved on up to doing Power Rangers and Ghostbusters over at Hasbro, and I believe he ushered us into the most recent and what I would consider the new golden age of the Transformer brand. So congratulations, John. Thank you for everything that you did for the brand. But they're all working from home right now, and they're still making this project and all the other great things that us fans are getting happen. So I commend Hasbro for doing what they got to do and being safe and socially distancing, but still getting the job done. So first question was, how long have you worked at Hasbro and specifically on the Transformer brand? And he indicates that he's been with Hasbro over 8 years and going on 4 years creating the instructions for Transformers. God bless him, because these things, Transformers are just getting way more complicated nowadays. Second question is, can you walk us through the typical Transformers instruction process? Our development process actually begins a year before our toys hit in-store, retail, and online shelves. Since the early 1980s, Hasbro has partnered with Takara Tomy, located in Japan, for the development of the Transformers brand's toys. This all starts with TT, Takara Tomy, as we call them, providing us with references, CAD images, or videos called photo steps that show how to convert each Transformers figure. From there, I review each conversion assembly step by step, marking up Takara Tomy's photo steps with my own comments and recommendations for improvements that will make the most sense for our consumer. And again, God bless him, because I have the hardest time transforming these newer figures, because I grew up in the 80s and I'm used to where it only took 8 steps. So these things that are taking almost 135 steps nowadays are crazy. But I could appreciate it, because we're getting the best of both worlds. Great conversion modes and great robot roads. Then he goes on to say, then I send requests for conversion assembly renders to be created at our Hasbro China offices. After the renders are provided, I use them to populate my rough instructions layout. Also at this time, I leverage branded creative elements such as logos, textures, graphics, etc. to create the look and the feel of the instruction sheet. As a team, I further partner together with engineering, design, and development and marketing to review each step render against a prototype model of the toy to ensure accuracy. Once the instructions... Okay, so for those of you... Real quick, I'm going to pause. For those of you that will do reviews and then you're like, but for some reason I could not get this, or this didn't tab well, this, that, and the third. I don't hear a lot about that with official Hasbro releases of Transformers, but I do hear a lot about that with third party. Good luck trying to get in touch with them to get clarification on those issues though. Once the instructions layout is solid, I enter it into our approval system for eventual printing and toy packaging insertion. All in all, we collaborate to work together every step of the way to create a positive play experience for our consumers and fans. Okay, so the next question is, has working on Unicron been different, especially with adapting to work from home? I know in this section he talks about how it was actually kind of cool to be able to work from the comfort of his own home, and especially having the patio door open and everything like that. I know for everybody this has been a bit of an adjustment, quarantining, working from home, things like that. So again, I commend these guys for still being able to stay focused. I can't even tell you how many days I forgot what time it was and what day it was. But these guys are able to stay on task. So big shout out to them for that. Okay, so I wanted to point this out too. He points out that Unicron was in my bubble and kept me company. As I was settling into my home workspace, I found that working from home was going to be helpful in some aspect for Unicron. I'm not sure if you know, but he is huge, and pretty much we saw from that video, thing is giant. And he needs a lot of room. Unicron quickly took over my dining room table, which is over 8 feet long, and he needed all of it. When I laid out all of his parts, it was the entire table. This extra space came in handy when I needed to spread out dozens of conversion steps and was either building him or trying to find easier ways to show a set of conversion steps. So just the behind the scenes process of how they come up with the instructions for us fans and make all that happen. You kind of always anticipate that it's pretty comprehensive and pretty complicated, but to actually hear a testimonial about it and them actually, as you can see right here in this photo, so all the pieces laid out, and that's just it amazes me how much the engineers and designers and how much goes into these projects. So when people are complaining about price points nowadays, think about it. We always take into consideration inflation over the last 36 odd years or whatever that Transformers has been out. We go, well, back in the 80s, they were saying that the Generation 1 Unicron that they were going to put out that failed, that they didn't put out, the Grail, was going to be retailing for close to $100. The USS Flag was $100. Okay, think about it nowadays. That was with the engineering and the sculpting back then. It doesn't compare to nowadays. So even when you include inflation, and then on top of that, you include the fact that these figures are made so much more intricately, it's hard to complain about price points, particularly when many of these brands are marketing and their target consumer is adult collectors. So our piggy banks are a little bit different than they were when we were 9. Next question, how long did the Unicron instruction process take in comparison to the other items? Unicron has been one of the longest development cycles for a product that I've ever worked on. Me and the other Transformers instructions designer, Sarah Jean, reviewed Unicron back in February. This was a 5-month endeavor with help from Sarah Jean and another of our designers, Dan. We went through various render explorations and worked through layout challenges. Due to the size of this project, we had to also develop a new process on how our renders were created and turned over. So the pages, how many pages is the final instruction booklet? The final book is 32 pages. I can imagine much of that is instructions for a conversion, but I also imagine that they've probably included some other, I hope, some other goodies for us. I know Takara Tomy has traditionally done that with many of their reissues over the years, and many of their releases. They usually have some sort of extra type of booklet or packaging. But if it's 32 pages for the conversion, wow, I don't know. I guess I wouldn't be surprised. It's a pretty big monstrosity that you're working with. He goes on to say what the most fun part about working on the project was. Is this the largest figure you ever worked with? I didn't even have to read the answer on that. I knew he was going to say yes. But he says, I've worked on several brands over the years and have been fortunate enough to work on the biggest projects that brands produced. but nothing compares to the sheer size of Unicron. It is the largest figure I have ever worked on, and I believe for many of you guys, it'll be the largest figure in your collection, not just your Transformer collection, but I can't imagine too many things being, this is beyond a quarter scale figure. It's closer to a third scale, 1/3 scale figure, I think. So, but it will never be the scale that every Transformer fan is hoping that it would be. It's just not going to ever happen. But still, this is great. So he goes on to the next question is about what was the biggest challenge in creating instructions for Unicron. And as you can imagine, you know, he's got some answers for that one because he goes on to say, with Unicron, we hit many unique challenges that kept our entire team on their toes, but we really pulled together and were on top of everything as the challenges came. So if you want to check out the rest of this, it's up on the Hasbro Pulse page. Again, it's the update number 3 about Unicron. He's even got a picture here where he's talking about how the teeth of the planet, he was able to put some of the bots in there, as you can see in this photo right here. So that's pretty cool. Also, shameless plug because they're able to plug bots. Good job. How long did it take to convert Unicron? So we've seen videos up that Hasbro released of Takara Tomi's legendary designers converting it, and I believe even when I spoke with John, he said it was close to maybe about an hour or so, almost. His answer is, if I follow the instructions, I convert Unicron in about 50 minutes to an hour. If I try to freestyle, I could get a good ways there and inevitably run into something that slows me down or have to undo a bunch of steps because I forgot to rotate something. And it usually ends up taking me longer. So he said, with the instructions, about 50 minutes to an hour. So for all the influencers out there and all the people, the YouTubers out there that plan on reviewing this Unicron, that's going to be a very interesting review. I have MP44, and to date, MP44 was the most intricate transformation that I've ever done. I don't remember transforming any other figure because MP44 actually came packaged in his in his vehicle mode, and I was just like, I know I'm going to display him in his robot mode. There's no question about that. So I ended up doing that, and I don't remember how long it took me, but it damn sure wasn't 50 minutes to an hour, you know, but it was shorter than that, but it was intricate. And I even had to go to Shartimus Prime's review of that figure and actually get some tips on transforming it, because clearly MP44 is from Takara Tomy and the instructions aren't in English. So I just went ahead and did that. Closing thoughts. Is there anything else you want to say about working on Unicron? I want to thank the entire Transformers team for everything everyone does to make this happen. The skills and knowledge everyone brings really is what makes this such a great team. Everyone is so amazing to work with, and I feel so fortunate to be around so many talented people. Truly blessed to be a part of this team. I hope everyone gets as much enjoyment watching Unicron eat things as I do. I guarantee you, we all appreciate it. Those of us that did back this project, we really do appreciate it. So far, again, the only thing that I will say that I'm like, I wish it was a little bit better right now is, again, the packaging. For it to be, you know, the images that they have on that very, very cardboard looking box, I was really hoping for it to be like here. I was hoping for that. I was really hoping for that. But how many of us are going to actually keep it in its box. I have quite a few of the Earthrise figures. I was trying to fight off getting Siege, and I just started biting the bullet, and the OCD kicked in. And then once the Earthrise figures started getting released, I was like, okay. You know, fortunately, I was able to get rid of a lot of other collectibles that I had. But the packaging on these figures is just epic. There's Iconic, which is the 80s packaging, and then there's Epic, which is these new packaging, the artwork on them. They remind me of the way they used to do the Masters of the Universe artwork on everything Masters of the Universe used to put out back then, from the Castle Grayskull to the actual figures themselves. Let's see if I could reach one over here. Like even updated ones. This is the one from Super 7. They just Motu always had some amazing looking artwork on theirs. So I was so happy to see that they started really having that kind of aesthetic, that design aesthetic on the packaging for War for Cybertron. And when I was anticipating the Unicron finally getting released to us, I was hoping that the packaging would be just as epic. So it's not a deal breaker at all. It's too late if it was, but it's not a deal breaker. And I was kind of thinking in my head when I first saw the box revealed that maybe it's a cost cutting measure. I have the quarter scale NECA Avengers Age of Ultron Hulk, which that figure's got to be maybe 2 feet tall, about 2 feet tall. But it's an amazing figure. But it literally came in just a cardboard box. There's no art on it or anything like that. Came in cardboard, and I believe they said it was a cost-cutting measure. So when I saw what they were doing with Unicorn, I was thinking, well, maybe it's a cost-cutting measure. But Super 7 is releasing the upcoming Collector's Choice Snake Mountain, which I spoke about in one of my last videos. And that one I've seen a mock-up of what the box is going to look like, what the packaging is going to look like. And again, epic artwork. They go with kind of the whole 80s theme of having the full artwork on display or on the front sides of the packaging. Obligatory product shots, like MGO likes to say. And then on the back, I believe it's supposed to be like black and white images, like they did with Mattel did with the Castle Grayskull back in 2013. The updated Motu Classics Castle Grayskull. But those are epically sized boxes, and they do the full artwork. I can go on and on about it, but that's just the way I feel about it. But again, nobody's really going to leave their Unicron in this packaging unless you're planning on selling it on the secondary market. So, with that being said, I'm glad I was able to get an update on the forthcoming Haslab Unicron. I cannot wait for it to get here. Sorry about that. Anyway, what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts? Those of you that got a chance to check out the update today. Are you excited about it as much as I am? And what else are you excited about that's coming up? How many of you guys got a chance to back the new Haslab project, the X-Men, the Sentinel, which is based on the House of X design of the Sentinel? How do you feel about that? I know a lot of people are excited about it because they knocked out their 6,000, the goal of 6,000 backers within the first 24 hours. And I believe the last time I checked on the site, they were up to about 13,000. So for Haslab, it being the third Haslab project, they clearly have beat whatever record was already set. And that's going to actually be my second Haslab back project, or second Haslab project that I'm backing. I ended up actually backing 2 Sentinels. So I got Unicron coming the beginning of 21, and then I'll have 2 Sentinels coming by fall of 21 also. I'm a bigger Transformer fan, but I love Marvel. I love X-Men. I love everything. I'm a big fan of it. So if you're excited about that, put it down in the comments below. Put it down there. And then that's pretty much it. It was supposed to be a shorter video, but I haven't been able to post much lately. But I'm trying to post a little bit more. But I'm excited about what's happening right now. We need this kind of good news again while we're going through everything. This has been a crazy year. I know I talked about this and touched on it in the last video, but I'll say it again before I get out of here. Just please be good to each other, man. It's getting crazier. It's probably going to keep getting crazy, but ultimately, crazy times are supposed to test us and show us who we really are, and bring out the best in us. So if it doesn't bring out the best in you, I don't know how you consider yourself a fan of superheroes or a part of the fandom if you're not willing to step up to the challenge. What have you learned from turning all those comic book pages over these years? What have you learned by watching your favorite cartoons and MCU movies and DC movies and Arrowverse and Flash and all that? What have you learned? You got to be a hero. Be a hero. We can be heroes. That's all I'm saying. So anyway, just be good to each other, man. Be good to yourselves. Be good to others. Open your toys. Play with them. Okay? Peace. Talk to you soon.
Miles Morales, they might just call me childish. If I got to catch them all, I volunteer to take the challenge. I got the plug in the orders. I got the connected comic can get me the sort of joy I get from toys, action, BB, B8, action, brick and mortar. I got the plug in the orders. I got the connected comic can get me the sort of joy I get from toys, action, nerd game, bang, 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 action figures. Welcome to the Terror Drone.